Hello, good evening everyone. Yes, Mona, shall we start? Thank you so much, Mona. Once again, good evening everyone. This is Neha. I'm here to share something. Before we move ahead, let me thank you so much the entire team of TIE, Harsha, Mona, and Kinjal for giving me this wonderful opportunity to be here with you all. I hope you all had your tea, and if not, don't worry. I won't allow you to sleep. So, teachers, before now let's begin. Before beginning or before reaching to my point, I would like to share one incident which happened in the classroom. There was a classroom where all the students were sitting and a teacher was yet to come. All the students were sharing the photographs. The age of students must be 5 to 6 years, and they were showing their family photograph to each other. All the children were so excited that, see, this is my mama, this is my papa, and all were enjoying this thing. Suddenly, one child has observed that, see, your hair and your the color, you look different from your mother and father and the sister. I think you are adopted, right? The child who was showing photo to other friends, he was simply blank at that time. He said, yes, I know, I am adopted. And suddenly one more child from behind asked, what do you mean by adopted? Can you tell me what does mean adopted child? And suddenly teacher came from back and teacher said, yes, I will tell you what does mean by adoption. There are children who grow in the heart of mama, in mama's heart instead of tummy. So that is called adopted. The child who grows in mama's heart, not in tummy, that we can call the child who is adopted. So the child who was adopted, he was so smiling, and he saw that, wow, my teacher has given that, yes, I am adopted, but I grew in my mama's heart, and he felt so happy just because teacher's one sentence. Yes, I can see so many people here. Thank you so much, Harsha. Thank you for welcoming me. Now, if I talk about that child, if I talk about that incident, can you imagine what a child must have felt after this one sentence of teachers, that he grew in mama's heart? How he felt relaxed or comfortable when teacher has given such nice definition of adoption. So all the teachers here, I would like to ask few questions, and I would like to see your answers in this comment section. Do you believe that you have long lasting impact on children's lives? Yes or no? Do you believe you have long lasting impact on children's lives? I would like to see audience answer. Do you believe, teachers? Yes, definitely, I agree. So teachers, one more question. What your students will remember? They will remember particularly you, or they will remember the experience which they had in your classrooms? They will remember you as a teacher, or they will remember the experience which they had in your classroom? I'm sure first they will remember how you made them feel in your classroom, how they enjoyed being in your classroom, and that is why you will be their favorite teacher. So now teachers, let's take one more quick question for you. There is one question for you. If you wish your students remember you, which are the 3 best words they should remember for you? Come on, quick 3 words I want to know that will describe you as a teacher. If your student will remember after 15 years, 20 years, what will be 3 those words? Yes, come on teachers, 3 words which you wish your students remember about you. If you talk about me, For myself, I would like that students should remember love, fun, and care. These are the three best words which students can think when they are talking about me. Which are three words which you want your students to remember for you? Okay, we have answer: sweet, hilarious, and fun loving. Yes, my teacher is loving and caring. Okay. Yes. So if you see, we all want, there are few common words which we feel that as teacher which shows our personality. The words are love, care, kindness, affection, fun. There was a research conducted widely. There were few common questions were asked to all the students, and not only to students, the people who have finished school before 20 years, 30 years. In that research, the students asked which are the things which is the reason of your being a favorite teacher. So there are 5 common objects which I would like to mention here. First point all the students have shared is, my teacher cared about me as an individual. That was the first point. Second, she brought learning into life. She made it real. So this was the most common answer, that the learning was very much real and it was relevant with life. The third common answer was, my favorite teacher took extra time to help me to learn. The fourth most common answer, she was always fair, reasonable, and understandable. And the fifth one is, my favorite teacher always inspired me to do my best. So these are the 5 best common answers given by many people, that these are the reason behind she is my favorite teacher or he is my favorite teacher. And there was also a research conducted that why you don't like particular teacher or why you hate particular teacher. Of course, we will not discuss about it. You know that which are the things which students don't like, so let's not do it. Now, here today I would like to share few things about, when I'm talking about make your mark, there is one special thing which I would like to share, the child oriented model for well-being. Today we are doing today it's time for remote learning. There is pandemic around, things are ups and down in our lives as well. So teaching and learning has changed completely. Whether it is remote learning or the classroom learning, which hopefully we will go back it to soon within few months. I really wish we will do that. There are few things which we should keep in mind. The first one is communication skills. So teachers, when we are talking about communication skills, if 4-year-old is looking at you, he is trying to communicate something. If 4-year-old is crying, he is trying to communicate you something. So there are many signs which shows that there are different kind of communication, that is verbal communication and non-verbal communication. As a teacher, if you are really feeling that you want to work, you want to do something extra which will for which the child will remember you, it should be you can foster the effective communication skills. So what child is feeling right now or how he is going through particular situation, he or she can explain you. So for that we need better communication skills. I will come on to this point later. Second one is, as a teacher we must be aware about developing pedagogy. When we are talking about developing pedagogy, as a teacher, age appropriate things we should be aware about it. When you are talking about 3-year-old, when you are talking about 5-year-old, which kind of cognitive developments are happening, which kind of physical development is happening, we must be aware about it. If you are aware, definitely you will be able to connect it. So as a teacher, first thing we can do is to foster good communication skills. Second, be aware about development changes which are happening every day. The third one is emotional skills. It is very, very, very important, not only for children but for adults as well. Today, when we are dealing with this pandemic, we are needing proper skills so that we can express our emotions. We have our mood swings. we are worried about many things. It's a emotional skills which are allowing us to communicate, which are allowing us to feel what we are going through. So this is the third point. The fourth one is general support. As a teacher, you are dealing with a class of maybe 30 students, 40 students. We can give support in different categories. The first would be general support, the support which teacher is giving to all the students, which is required as per the age, as per the situation. In that we can add two more things: intensified support. Here teacher can talk to parents and teacher can give personalized support if child is going through some tough situation, if you are finding a major change in child. And the third one is special support. When you feel that even after the parents partnership there are few things which are not improving, or there are things which are making you worried, you can talk to head of your department, means head of your school, or you can take help of your counselor. So three kind of supports we can give in today's time is: one is general support to everybody, then intensified support to the students with the help of parents we can give it, and third one is special support where you can take help of counselor. So when you are doing this, you are making home and school partnership. This will help you to maintain or develop overall well-being of children. So few points I have discussed here. I will go into detail, but before that let's have a look that in this time which kind of problems children are facing. Teacher, we are focusing on that we are taking classes through Zoom, through Facebook, or through different mediums. There are different kind of issues which children are facing, but somewhere we are ignoring it when we are running behind curriculum. Abuse. It can be physical abuse, it can be sexual abuse. Of course, children are at home, they are safe, but still, don't forget to teach them about good touch, bad touch. Don't forget to teach them about such kind of activities through stories, because even when they are at home, they should be aware that it is their body, nobody should touch it, who should touch it, who is not allowed to do it. These are the points which can be taken care in this time as well as afterwards as well. Second thing is sibling rivalry. We have children of age group of 4, 5. Mostly at this time there are 2 children at home, and there must be some kind of feeling of jealousy or indirect competition going on. Mostly what happens, if second child is born, first is treated as tu to bada hai na, the child gets less attention, and this creates problem with the bond between the bond of parent and child, and as well as the bond between both the siblings. So first thing, observe about abuse which are happening at home. Second, sibling rivalry. Make parents aware what is sibling rivalry, how as a teacher we can support child and we not happen at home, how parent can be made understood about this, that sibling rivalry when you are comparing 2 children. As a teacher we also do the same कि हाँ आपका बड़ा बेटा तो अच्छे से इसने कर लिया बट छोटा थोड़ा टाइम ले रहा है. Why we are comparing 2 children? This can generate sibling rivalry between 2 children, and it can go long way. It can have lifelong impact on children. So sibling rivalry, read about this, teachers talk about this with parents, that even indirectly parents should not compare 2 children at home. This can create aggression between them. Third one is, again it is the same thing, that child may be neglected at home because of work pressure. There are right now work from home is going on, mother and father both are busy, but it doesn't mean the child should be neglected because he has mobile or screen. So these are few important issues which we are facing in current scenario, and as a teacher if you simply just look after these issues, you can make other child feel special. Now I'll come to my main point, that is, which are our basic needs, teachers as a human being or as a child, which are our basic needs. If we talk about, we need food, we need shelter, we need clothes, we need safety. These are basic needs. Of course then step by step the things will grow. Now here we are talking about children. So as childs there are 3 to 4 basic needs, that is food, shelter, clothes and safety. Few more needs if we talk about, it would be respect, kindness and caring touch. When children used to come to school, they simply used to hug their favorite teacher, they simply used to get hugs from their friends. Now they are missing all these things. Caring touch is very, very important at this age, because children feel special when somebody gives them hugs, somebody gives tap on the back. Especially children have special bond with the teachers. They are missing this thing right now. How you can give this caring touch through your, maybe of course virtual work. Any ideas, teachers? We are supposed to give caring touch. How will you do that in this current scenario? Let me share one idea. We are here. Can you make a random call to child and talk about it? How are you feeling? How is your days? Of course, I know I am asking more from you people, but simply one call to one child, it will make the day of your child. Ki my teacher has called me today just to ask how I am feeling today, how my vacation is going on. Such kind of simple activity, such kind of simple effort, which will take hardly 2 to 5 minutes, can give caring touch or can make your child feel special. This is the basic need. Now when we are talking about well-being, a very important aspect as teacher we need to focus is how empathy develops. What is empathy, teachers? When we try to care about others' feeling, when we try to understand about others' perspective, it is empathy. So when you want children to understand empathy, do you feel that this is the right age to teach? Of course, this is the right age to teach. From childhood, children can learn about all such things. Empathy, if you really want to teach to children how to go about that. So first thing you can do is role play. As a teacher, or you can give home assignment, child will play role of mama and mama will play of role of child. Maybe mama or teacher, anybody. You can do this during your school time or right now even. The child will be mother or any adult, or child can be pet, family pet. If mother is playing the role of child, mother will cry, and then see how child is trying to make you understand that no, you don't need to cry, I'm giving you chocolate. When they are putting themselves in others' character, they will try to understand that okay, what happens with mama when I cry a lot. So these kind of small role plays can make children aware about the feelings what others are going through. The second thing you can do to develop empathy is give situation or open-ended question. Now you cannot go out frequently. Of course, children are not allowed to go out. In this case, you can just simply give the situations. Okay, fine, Rohit, today I want to, just when you are talking, or as a teacher when you are taking classrooms, just give one scenario. It's very hot outside, right, children? Can you see there are dogs around our society, and we are not going out due to COVID-19. Children are aware that what is happening around. So when you talk that, see, dogs are there, nobody is going out, nobody is feeding them, they must be hungry. What should we do? Just give them one question, pause, don't intervene, let them think for few seconds or few minutes. They will come up with the solution that, mama, can you go out and put this thing every day in the morning so they can eat? Or maybe they will give different kind of ideas. You need to give them situation where they feel, and they feel to help others. This is how you can develop empathy in young children at young age without going out or without doing much, without putting much efforts. These kind of questions you can give to parents. Every day they can answer, every day they can ask one question, parent can forward their answer to teacher, and see, you will see how children are growing during these days, what they are thinking. So this will help you to understand each and every child better, that there are not much efforts in this. Third thing you can do is share stories of empathy. Nowadays, indoor activities are the things which you can do. Share stories when you are taking classrooms, or send stories to parents in parents WhatsApp group so parent can read it. the stories which shows that how help makes us to feel better, how you can support each other in this scenario, how being a you can take care of different kind of things, maybe animals, maybe plants or these things. These small acts will help child to understand important, and they will realize that no, I can do this. Chat as a parent, as a teacher, it's so good. Share your experience with them. They will realize okay, mama also did this is happening, so they will feel कि नहीं ऐसी situation में ऐसे करा जा सकता है. So role plays, open-ended questions, stories, chats, these are few examples where you can do this. One more thing you can do to develop empathy is expand the circle of concern. See, if you have read about proper pedagogy, you will realize that till certain age children are focused only about themselves, their toys, they are concerned about their families. But gradually when we are when we are at home right now, you can start talking about others. First they only used to care about their toys, then they started learning about parents, then they started learning about my dada dadi. So this circle can be expanded. Now talk about my friends, now talk about your neighbors, talk about your school, your teacher. These kind of addition can be done, and you can expand the circle of concern. So whenever next time the child will think about the problem, he or she will think about maybe the bigger circle. Even the pet animals, even the animals who are around the society is also, so they will try to find the solution because they feel ye mera hai. So when they think that this is about me, this is about my society, this is about my city, to find the solution, and this will help you to develop the empathy at young age. And of course the best thing is that be a role model. If you really want your child to be empathetic, make sure you are also one of them. A research says that at the age of 1, when the child is 1 year old, child can understand that I am not feeling good or I am upset. When the child is 30 months old, child can be kind to dolls and toys. When child is 3 years old, child can get others feeling that okay, I did this, or maybe she is upset, she is happy. At the age of 3, they can understand such kind of things. When the child is of age 4, they can realize कि मुझे इसको ये करना है, ये मेरा है, ये मेरा नहीं है. So they can make the differences कि no, I want to do this, I don't want to do this, this is mine, this is yours. So they do understand this. So first they sympathize with particular thing, then they go towards empathy, and gradually they learn compassion, which is very very essential, and which you will definitely want your child to learn as a human being, that your child or this should be compassionate. The compassion is must for human being. Now let me share. I already shared that empathy is very important, or children's well-being is important. As a teacher you can do these kind of things, but let me share quick ideas of activities which you can implement immediately, so that as a teacher you are taking care of children's emotional skills, you are taking care of mental well-being, and you are supporting children for holistic development. The first thing, the activity number 1 is classroom conversations. Whenever you are taking classrooms, maybe you will, few teachers are taking now, few will take afterwards. It's not about only offline or on, it's about online, offline, everything. Classroom conversation, just few minutes, maybe 2 to 5 minutes classroom conversation, where you are talking about, oh today I am very tired, you know, it's very hot, I am feeling upset. Just start talking about your feelings, then definitely children will jump up and they will jump in and they will see, okay, I am also feeling this. So classroom conversations is one activity which is a simple act, can be done in the classroom, which will help you to children express their feelings. The second activity is happy teachers, happy classroom. So teachers, it's very, very important that you are happy, or you are showing, you are expressing your emotions when you are in the classroom or when you are with children. So that is why children will also accept their own feelings and they will express. So second one is happy teacher, happy classroom. The third one is gratitude game. Teachers, we always feel that as an adult now we maintain gratitude journal, or we write about the things which we liked. What do you feel? Children at this age, can they express their gratitude? Of course they can do. What can be done right now? Instead of giving the different kind, of course you are giving different activities, add one this one as well. Gratitude activity. Every day child will draw 3 objects at the end of the day, which will through which they will show that I am thankful for this. If they had an ice cream and they feel like I am thankful for this, they can draw an ice cream. If they felt that I played games and I want to draw the favorite toy, so simply you need to explain that the things which you feel about thankful or you feel gratitude, you can draw 3 things which made you happy today. So you will see that every day the child will write date in the book and he will draw 3 things. When they will come to school after few months, you will realize that child has observed himself or herself and they have put things on record, and you will love to see that what each child has gone through in this tough times. So the gratitude is one activity which can be done. 3 good thing worksheet or gratitude worksheet, any name you can give. Then mindful bell. Whenever as a teacher you feel that you want children to listen you very seriously, or as a mother you want children to listen, just make this signal. You can ring the bell and then the child should listen. So then they are aware, okay, now it's time to concentrate. So this is mindful bell. This activity can be done. And another activity is slow motion. When children are very active or they have done so much of activities, okay, it's time to do slow motion activities. Just they will put their hands slowly up and down and they will stand up in their place without making any kind of noise. So this is slow motion activity. This will help them to calm down. This will help them to understand, okay, now it's time to move slow. This is third activity. Mindful walking. When they are walking, they are counting their steps slowly, they are observing themselves. So such kind of activity can be done. Act of kindness is another activity where you can support children to do activity which is inspired by kindness. Maybe you can see that at senior KG child will try to roll a chapati so that the mother can prepare it, and then afterwards mummy or daddy or anybody can feed it to dog. So this is act of kindness. When they are putting grains or means the bird feed activity, this is again act of kindness. When they are trying to make cards for policemen, the doctors, of course they can give it to later, but nowadays they can prepare cards for everybody. They can make birthday card for the friends. So this is activity of act of kindness which can be done in the right now. And these small things will help children to understand that when I am doing something for others, I am enjoying. So this thank you cards, the random act, the random compliments, or when they appreciate, such kind of things can be done. These are the few simple activities. One more activity you can do right now is I am special. Just put this, ask parent to write on the worksheet or on a page, or afterwards you can do. The child is supposed to draw themselves, but with 2 things which they like most about themselves. They can talk about this or they can highlight it, that I really like. When they are helping others, they feel okay, I love this. When I take care of my friend, they need to highlight it. So just see, through such kind of activities, child will feel that I am special. There are special traits in me which make me special. So in your language, in your way, you can ask children to draw such kind of thing, and they will express their emotions. You can see what they are feeling about themselves or how they are feeling about themselves can be reflected through simple drawings. So I am special, they can draw and they can express. partner's portrait. They are missing their friends, so they can draw their partner, they can draw make a drawing of their friend, but again they need to highlight two best points about the friend which they really like. I really like Astha because she shares tiffin, so she need to draw a tiffin as well, because that is a thing which I really like about her. So you can give few example. You will see that children will come up with minute observation and they will put everything on paper. Don't judge their drawings. It's simple activity which will help them to express their feelings. Another one is puppets. When, of course, you know importance of puppet. When you really want to change any kind of habit, bring puppet in the classroom, bring puppet at home. Just talk like puppet or talk about their favorite cartoon character. You will see that children will try to adopt the changes because they love particular character. So puppets and stories will help you to connect with them, and it will have long lasting impact as well. So whatever thing you really wish to change about your child, you really wish to foster particular stories, use different kind of characters of cartoon because they love it, and then try to make your own stories. Children will definitely adopt this the changes, or they will accept whatever you are telling. One thing which can be done in the classroom is mood balance corner. This can be treated as behavior management strategy or any activity to manage the feelings of young ones. They cannot tell you that I am very upset or I am feeling irritated, I am feeling frustrated. They will simply throw any tantrum. So you can make rule for your classroom that whenever you are upset, there is one corner in the classroom. There will be 2 to 3 chairs, there will be table, and there will be few blank papers, crayons. Where child is feeling upset or he had a fight in the recess or something, if teacher is explaining concept, the child can simply go there and sit, and he can do scribbling, or he can draw something. Within few minutes teacher will go there and teacher will ask, okay, what you are feeling, what happened. So child is not allowed to shout, or the child is not there are certain rules to be followed. So when you are upset or when you really want the teacher should listen to you, go in particular corner, and there is a corner which should be labeled mood balance corner. Such kind of one similar activity today only I read about when I was reading about Dr. Maria Montessori's activities which can be done at home right now. When you really want to reduce sibling rivalry, when you have two children and obviously they often pick up a fight or there are issues, what can be done at home to avoid is make similar kind of setup. There is one table or 2 chairs, or there can be simple mat which is there throughout the day, and there can be, you need to put up one bell. You need to put one bell, and maybe you can put flower as a symbol of peace. For an example, 2 children, both of them had fight. Mommy is busy in her work, daddy is busy. The rule is that whenever you fight or whenever you are arguing, instead of beating, go and sit. The name of table is the peace table. Go and sit in that corner, and what you need to do here, and another hand should be on the table. One child will talk, another will listen without argument, and then second will put the perspective. After, when they share whatever they felt, they can solve the issue, and once they feel okay, I will not do this, or I'm sorry, or if mother can see that they cannot solve, I need to go, mother can interrupt and they can solve the issue. At the end, they all will ring the bell together, means issue is solved, and further it will not be discussed. So there is one area, one corner at home where everybody can solve the issues without beating, without argument, and with due respect. So such practices can be done at home as well. When 2 adults are having argument, instead of creating a big fuss, they can go there and they can simply discuss. If argument is over, ring the bell. Children will see, okay, this is the way to solve the problem. This is how cooperation can be developed. This is how we are supposed to solve our issues. Children will learn conflict resolution. So you can give any name, the peace table, the mood balance corner, but the thing is that teach them to solve their problem independently, give them opportunities, intervene when it is required. But it is very important that children are allowed to express their feelings when they are talking, when they are at home or school, because when they express their emotions, they feel okay, teacher cares for me, teacher listens to me, mama listens to me, I am being loved. So such kind of things they will feel. So this one idea is the peace table or mood balance corner. Another activity can be done is belly breathing. You can put a pen or any small object on the stomach of the child. The child needs to sleep straight and he needs to observe. Come on. The child will observe that the belly is going up and down. The object is going up and down, up and down. So they will see, oh, my stomach is becoming like balloon, and again the object is coming down. This will help them to calm down. They are simply observing. Of course, they are breathing very deeply. So in a day, at least once, such kind of activity can be done, that is belly breathing. That will help child to calm down. This will help them to feel better. So these are few activities which can be done to develop mindfulness at home. Why I am talking about all this right now? Because I feel that we are taking care about physical activities, all the different kind of development, but what about mental well-being? And in the beginning of this session, we spoke that we remember the experience, we remember how we felt, we remember how that particular teacher has treated us throughout our schooling. So I really feel that as a teacher, this is high time we need to understand that if you really wish to impact the life of children, you need to think about their mental well-being, you need to connect them emotionally. When we are dealing with young kids, when we are dealing with kindergartners, these are few simple steps. Just try one of any of these things and you will feel that the random call to Senior KG child can make so happy. A random video call or phone call, whatever your school policy suggests, you can do this. Emotional connect is very, very important. So this is something, these are few activities where you can feel if you are really touching the lives of children, you are making your mark. So that is why I have given the name of this session, Make Your Mark. Touch the life of children through your emotional act, connect them emotionally, do something, make them feel special. And there are in last, before winding up, I would like to say just two things. To become a best teachers, two things are required: passion and compassion. So if you feel that you are passionate and you are compassionate towards children, you are the best teachers. I hope these tips helps you. Once again, thank you so much team TIE, Harsha and everybody for inviting me here. Hope these tips will help you and will help you to connect children in a better way. Stay safe, take care. Thank you so much. Please share your feedback in the comments. Thank you.